Okay guys, quick update with Bitcoin. The last video, you guys that left a like and commented, I really do appreciate it. It did help the video and it does help my channel. If you could do the same for this video, again, much appreciated. So let's get into this. So in the thumbnail, I mentioned something about exchanges sending signals to other exchanges. I know that might sound crazy, but when I show you what I found, it'll make sense. And I played it and it worked out. The last video, it was this one here. I'll put a link up to it now. It was a day ago. I was showing you this was your key support level, this green line here. This is your current support to pay attention to. Right here, 121,271. You can see we did come down. We did drop below it down to around 120,500, but take note that this was pretty much support all through here. And then once we broke it, and now that is going to be your resistance. I will give you key levels on the on multiple time frames. But I did want to show you what I found and what gave me kind of a clue that maybe this was exchanges giving other exchanges a signal that, hey, this is a topping point. Anyways, I'll cover this in a sec. And also the trade I showed you in the last video where I was going to add to it, but I was going to only add a little bit because I wanted to make sure I didn't get stopped out if price pushed up. And again, let's see, I'm at $800 margin at 40x. I'm currently up $1,000. So as it continues down, as I said, when it pushes up to resistance, I'll add to my short and keep doing that as price goes down, if price goes down. If you want to sign up to CoinCatch, guys, there's no VPN, no KYC. There's only 21 days left for this event. If you want to check out the specials events page, I'll put a link up to it now. If you want to use, and again, if you deposit $1,000 and you get $5,000 back as a bonus. 30 slots every 7 days, deposit 500, get 1,250 back, 300 slots every 7 days. You need to use my referral link. I'll put a link up to that now. All these links will be pinned to first comment description. Once you sign up under my link, go to the events page, again, pinned to first comment description, click on join, then you'll be qualified. And you can also receive trading bonuses. Depending on how much trading volume, you can get up to $120,000 bonus. That's, of course, if you have 120 million trading volume. So if you want to check that out, guys, again, pin the first comment description. If you want to learn how to trade in CoinCatch, it's a video put together. And again, I explained the difference between isolated and cross. You have a lot more options with cross. Difference between market order, limit order, market price, limit price. These are important things. Whether if you use market price, you know for a fact that your order will trigger, but it might be a little higher or lower price. If you use limit, if price moves too fast, it might not trigger. So I do cover all this in video. So if you learn how to trade on CoinCatch, I'll link this video now. And of course, guys, you'll get access to my charts in Discord. This is my website. $49 a month gives you access to Bitcoin, altcoins, precious metals, and Discord. Just email me through the website if you so I can send you a Discord invite link. You can pay with USDT, but you need to email me. I have tutorials also teaching my method of charting. So let's get into this. So right here, and this is what was weird. This went on for an entire minute. And what I noticed was, and if I click it, my phone was on a lower resolution, because it was had a bad signal. But if you'll notice, if I zoom in on this, you'll notice each one of these orders. Now again, this went on for an entire minute. It was each one of these, so this arrow is long, this is short, right? So these are long and short orders. Price was around 123,600, and the amount for the order was 123,600. And this is the first time I've ever seen this happen, and it just kept going and going and going, which made me think maybe this was the exchanges giving other exchanges a signal that, okay, maybe this is topping point. I know that sounds crazy, but I made it clear what was going on here, that it was 123,600 when it happened, and the order was for that, and it was just long after long after long, and it went on for a while. So that made me think maybe that was a topping point, and coincidentally, price pushed up to around 123,600 and then started dropping from that point. So I started adding to my short. Currently, I'm up. I'm $800 margin at 40x, and I'm up around $1,000. So when we come up and we test, let's say 121,400, I will add to my short. I don't want to add too much, a little bit at a time, because I don't want to get stopped out. But it does seem to be playing out. And I also mentioned gold. And I think the reason that Bitcoin is dropping is because gold got topped out. And in that last video, the one I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I was talking about these lines right here, specifically this line with this price note at 4,056. I said, there was a loud car going by. Sorry, guys. Look for 4,056. But I think gold could pretty much be topped out to come down. And I explained this in Discord. And guys, if you do sign up, get access to my Discord. I'm making updates hourly, if daily. So the gold price hit fib line to the tick. Let's see if price blasts through or gets rejected. And that was this line here. And I explained what the significance of that line was. And if you'll notice, you'll see the structure here. So each one of these yellow lines represents the larger fib channel structure, right? That line here, where we got a rejection at 3,500. Well, that was the next fib channel line right here at 4,056. And if you'll notice, we got a rejection at 4,056 to the tick. And currently gold is down around 3,957. Now, I'm not saying gold can't push higher, but it's crazy how well these fib channels work out. So we got a rejection at that point. Now, I'm sure just like I put this fib channel here, I could put one here as well, which I probably will do that later and give points to scalp. But your most key support level below is going to be around 3,734. I'm not saying we have to drop to that point anytime soon. I mean, if it's out here, it'd be around 3,800, but that is your next strongest support level down below if gold continues down. But I do believe because gold got topped out, markets are also down, and that's why Bitcoin is down as well. So as you can see, as I mentioned in that last video, we are now testing a support level. And I said this is kind of an average. Above this yellow line is bullish. Below this line is bullish. This yellow line goes back since the beginning of Bitcoin. Currently, that's sitting around 120,000. Your next key support, as I mentioned in the previous video, is going to be this fib line here. Take note, this is a central Bollinger Band kind of moving up to this point. That's around 117,800. That's also a key level because that is the bottom of this rising wedge. So your current support to pay attention to right now is 120,000. If we get below that with the daily open, then we're headed down to 117,800. If that breaks, then we're headed down to probably 113,000. So those are your most critical levels right now on the D1 chart. Would like to show you. So this is that cycle, the 3 cycles, right? This is just zoomed in. And originally I had this line. I wish I had the published chart up, but I don't. But originally this line right here was the line I had as the top. If you connect the wicks, you can see we did get topped out that wick, but if you notice we came back up, that original line I had is where we topped out, and that was right at 123,600, where all those market orders went back to back, long, short, for 123,600, right at 123,600. But again, as I mentioned in the last video, that support level, like I said, you're looking straight down below is 116,700. Next daily candle is around 117,000. So that's your most critical support to pay attention to, at least for this this rising wedge. Do keep in mind, though, we did drop below here, and we drop below here as well. So same thing could happen, but I would pay attention because we are, remember what I said, those last cycles, once we crossed that thick ring, that was it. Now I know we did push up, but we're still in a bearish rising wedge. We got rejected at the top. So if you break below this, we could see a lot of downside. Obviously, this is invalidated if we get above, let's say, $127,000. But as I said, it looks like your most critical resistance is now right around 123,600, which is just crazy. Those market orders, how that was just going off like crazy. I mean, again, it went on for an entire minute, long, short, and it was same price with the same amount of money for each one. So it was just a very odd thing for that to happen, which to me just seemed like it had to be some kind of signal. Didn't have to be, could be weird, something crazy could have been going on, but I just decided to go ahead and play it, and sure enough, we got rejected at that point. So this is what I was also talking about. So pay attention again. So your most critical support, and let me just go ahead and zoom out and show you why. Let me make this green. Green means long, guys. So your most critical support is right around 118,500. And again, this is that line that goes back since 2017. So you can see your rejection, right? And we pushed above it over here. But you can see this is 2017. It was resistance. And if we zoom in, well, you can see that is now going to flip as support. So again, as long as we're above that, hey, we could get a bounce. But since that's been strong resistance since 2017, well, that's going to be strong support. So if we drop, your point to scalp along long or do a hedge long would be 118,585. And again, that does kind of coincide with this bottom target for this rising wedge. Now again, if we get below this point, that becomes resistance, especially if we're below 118,585. That becomes resistance. I will add a lot more to my short because I expect this to come all the way down to your next key support level, which is going to be down around 113,600. And as I mentioned, your most key support level below will be this line right here. Once this line gets broken, in my opinion, then that's confirmation for me the bear market has begun. And that is right around 109,600, depending when you make contact. We went long here, and we went long here. So this is a point to pay attention to. So if we come below 113,600, I add to my short. I will be longing 109,600. If it breaks, I close that long, and I add to my short, but I'm keeping my short open until we push up and I get stopped out, which hopefully that doesn't happen because I want to ride the short. But there will be bounces on the way down. I just want you to know that 118,800 is, or 118,600 is going to be very, very strong support. And it looks like your current resistance to pay attention to is around 123,600. But again, I thought that was odd. You can see the Dow is down 303 points, or it's down 300 points, guys. So the markets are down. Gold is down. It'll be interesting to see how far gold drops. I will be updating a fib channel to this section so we have more targets to scalp. But again, your strongest support down below is around 3,725. Let me go back to this chart really quick. So as I mentioned, so for the hourly, actually I have this on the 15-minute currently. So your strongest resistance on this chart right now is going to be up around 121,581. We just pushed above resistance level, this line right here. So this could hold a support by the time I put this video up, we'll see. But your current support is 120,155. Your support level below, and this is a lot of support, guys. So down around, so this you can see 118,700 around the area. This red line right here, you see you have these lines in this direction. That's a lot of support. So again, that's what I'm saying. 118,700 is going to be a very critical level. So again, I would be long from this point, whether it's a hedge long, scalp long, whatever. Again, I'm holding my short because I do think eventually this will break, but this is a very strong support level. So as long as you're above it or when we make contact, I would long it. But once that becomes resistance, it does look like, again, just going by this chart. Oh, so many charts. Hold on. Where's it at? Again, 118,500. Again, very, very strong support level. But when that becomes resistance, we're breaking back below a resistance level back from 2017 that was briefly support, then became resistance again. It will hold as support. But once we're back below that, in my opinion, that's very bearish. But that is your most critical level, 109,500. Once we're below that, then it's just, to me, it's game over. We have a lot lower to go. And the DXY, as I mentioned before, so gold looked like it was toppy, and you can see we got a rejection. You can see markets are down. Obviously, you can see Bitcoin is dropping, and the DXY is pushing up. And I mentioned this trend line right here to pay attention to. We got a rejection at it twice. We pushed above it, so now your next resistance level for the US dollar or for the DXY is around pretty much 100.38. If that holds as support, then, you know, hey, we're looking at possibly pushing up to maybe 104, maybe 103.9. And remember, guys, if the dollar's pushing up, that means something's wrong. That means people are jumping out of gold into cash, which makes sense. Gold's dropping, cash is pushing up, Bitcoin's dropping, they're jumping into cash, markets are dropping, they're jumping into cash. So again, even though, yeah, the value of the dollar over time is going down, cash is king during a crisis. People flight to safety, they jump into cash. That is why the DXY is pushing up, why you see gold and Bitcoin and the rest dropping. Still, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Again, like I said, you know, looking at the bigger picture, you know, if we get above 127,000, that's breakout area. That means we're headed to 200K. If you break below 117,000, especially below 109, well, we know we broke down from this rising wedge, and we have, in my opinion, we're at least headed down to the 300-week moving average, and that's anywhere from 45 5,000 to 50,000, depending on, this is a moving average, just a moving target, depending on where that is when we make contact. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Again, guys, if you want to take advantage of these specials, it's running out, 21 days left. Again, just check out the events page. It's pinned first comment description. But make sure that you use my referral link first to sign up under my account. Then click join, and that sets you up so you can get your deposit bonus, and also so you can actually get trading bonuses as well. That's it, guys. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.